Vietnam, Kuhn, just to bring you and I, I've talked a lot, but just to bring everyone up to speed on the journey over the last couple of weeks. I think quite interesting.
Yeah, I think that the last couple of weeks that as you may have heard that we just very in short, we managed to get our Vietnam project into the list of the revised PDP, the National Master Plan, that is already submitted to the Prime Minister for signature. And as of now, I have not heard if he have signed. So everyone is waiting. Not sure when he gonna sign, but the what he mentioned before that they will try to finalize this within March. So it's just a few days more. Let's see how. Think that that's the key thing in that's for the bid project, and we managed to get Mương An, the Biên Đông, and also that's the thing, and one of the two new projects that we are installing the MESMAS. And regarding the MESMAS, the foundation for the mast is completed now, and they expect to finish the tower installation within this month, maybe next 1 or 2 weeks. And the sensors is a bit delayed. I think that they got received notice from their supplier that the sensor from Germany gonna be delayed a bit, so it will arrive somewhere toward the end of April, and they will start install when it's arrived. Yeah.
Kuhn, really great job. I think we wait 3 years in Vietnam in some ways, hoping things would happen, and then we just happened to be there in 1 week, and what we anticipated was going to be an allocation of megawatts to provinces became actual projects being named. Great that we could get our 2 most mature DMDN projects in, but because we were there and could ask, we asked if we could get Tia Dinh in as well. So we got an additional 120 megawatts onto the list. So great, to be in the right place at the right time. But it's only because of all the work that you all have done up to this point that we were in a position to be able to make those recommendations, including building the relationship with the Dien Bien province. So really good. So a couple of follow-up things. The next stage of the process, you sent out kind of a process map of what it takes to get from being in PDP8 to having notice to proceed. The next stage with the auction process and IRC receiving the investment registration certificate. We've had some email exchanges, so just wanted to check, Tom, Han, I guess we need to start to get our heads around all of that. There are some potential pitfalls along the way, like funding IRC and things like that. Just need to kind of get ahead of.
Yeah, Han, Kung, and I did talk about it. I think we're just gonna wing it. Let's just full speed ahead. Han is putting together a list of questions that we're going to send to local council on I think related to the general process itself, as well as the transferability of SPVs after they've gone in, the transferability of the permits, which we think is unlikely. So we're starting that. I think Han and I talked about it. She's going to provide us a sort of a list of questions. Kung and I will look at, supplement on Monday, get out to a few firms, get some quotes on it, including probably we're looking at probably engaging some larger firms at this point, including Baker McKenzie, some of the larger players who probably have deeper resources as we get into these projects more developed.
So Tom, there's a lot of scars here, probably with me, with GE on some of the history. Just a few things to be aware of. All of the basic tenets of the renewable energy, wind, how it fits into the regulatory regime of Vietnam, all the gaps between what the market would like to have terms of bankability. A lot of that, everyone has, all the law firms have off the shelf. They all have their memos. So we don't need to pay again for that. And I sent one example, I think maybe it was from Freehills, I forget. What we need is to try to ask them to build on that, on the new questions that we have on what's changed and what is relevant to our particular situation with our structure and our anticipated process. So let's just be careful that we don't ask for something that we end up paying that it's already available off the shelf. Second thing, we spent a lot of money at GE with Baker McKenzie. We actually worked on developing what a bankable PPA would look like, and all the gaps between what Vietnam currently offered in 2019 and what the commercial world internationally would like. They did nothing with it. It didn't matter at the end of the day. You get what they're willing to provide. VLAF is kind of a go-to. Now, you guys select counsel on everything, but what we found historically, I think, is we get everything from VLAF that Baker McKenzie could provide, but at a fraction of the cost. So when you're, and maybe there are others out there now, I think there's a Dwayne, someone that does a lot of work, but just before you just go to Baker McKenzie, just consider the local alternatives.
Yeah, sorry, we are sending it out to multiple firms. That is, Baker McKenzie was the one that was on the top of my head because it's a name I obviously know and recognize. Yeah. But definitely going to be cost conscious, not about it, and try and get the best resource.
Fantastic.
And I think it's just a comment on that, on what Frank said on all of the thing around renewable. So for now, everything from IRC until COD either remain the same as before or no clear guidance. I mean, for the PPAs, when we are going to know it's going to be the same. So everything from IRC, the only thing had changed is that the auction process at IRC. That's one that we need to be clear what we need to do and prepare to do the auction. Because before there was no auction, the province just give the IRC directly to a developer, but now they need to go through the auction, and that's the only obvious difference that we see.
Okay, no, noted. So we'll. I think it'll be good to have you on that email chain as well then, Kung, when Han sends a question, so we can make sure that we're only asking the ones that we need answered.
Right. Then anything else around in bin? Any other question? Otherwise, that for Sunla, so the province already received the proposal from DOIT, and they are asking for opinion from their what they call the member of the province committee to give the final green light before they can sign off. And that is something that we need to negotiate a little bit on the boundary with another solar developer. And it's fixed now. We will need to give them maybe 2 turbine location or also compared to what we want at the beginning, and that has been finalized, and we are hoping that they will get that through sometimes next week, 1 or 2 weeks.
Technical issue.
Jeez.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, we lost our meeting room. It just poofed. guess somebody didn't like what we were saying about IRC. Cut us off. Second thing on DNB, Kuhn, I talked to you about trying to get ahead of the curve on the BOP pricing, constructability. Maybe you can just kind of talk about that and what the next steps are on that.
Yeah. So there are two things on the. So I have reached out to some of the local BOP contractor and asked them to have if they can provide us some budgetary number, and we are finalizing the NDA with them before we can share some information for them to work on. And in terms of the survey, I talked also with Sanjeev and Quang. They're gonna support it, but what they were saying that if they are going to have another site visit, it's gonna be similar to what they did before. And what will help us now, if we really want to look into the real constructability, that we need to engage some sort of consultant. Then they will go there for full size survey and they come up with some sort of basic design. So I think that when the project get into PDP, we need to think about that, to have someone to go to have own the survey and come up with the basic design. From the basic design, then we're going to go to another round of quotation where we have more reliable data. But for now, we can ask some local contractor to give us some high-level estimate on the civil and electrical BOP based on a very high-level assumption.
Yeah. So I would think that this ultimately would be all the same group. So if you go out and talk to people about budgetary estimates, you understand their capability, you get a sense of how interested they are, and then you kind of pick somebody, we get the early information we need, but then combine them with our construction team to do the next stage. So our construction team helps define the scope of work that we need for the information they need to be able to ultimately feel comfortable with the basic design, I guess, that we might need.
And I think that one thing maybe we will need your help as well. I think that we need to ask sales to involve to provide us the supply and install estimate, because otherwise we will need to work also with the logistics. Yep. So if we can put that installation and transport to the sales team and the procurement to work, and then we will work directly for the BOP.
So Kuhn, you are the sales guy. You ask all of those questions. You copy Stephen, you copy Anton, whoever, and if you don't get the reply you need, then ask me. I'm not going to go ask them first.
No.
They should reply, and then I will.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to ask them. It's just more like so you align with Stephen that sales will support us with the S&I scope, and then if that's you have the green light, then I will do the rest.
Yeah. No, I don't think Stephen hasn't had any issues. I think what you should talk to Stephen about is whether or not he wants to do S&I or S&S. He's going to have to gauge for us what the company wants. You know, it's not our call; it's what they want to offer. So he had, and he'll have to make this decision on all the other people that are coming to him as well. What's the offering going to be of Vestas in Vietnam for this next round? So talk to him and agree on what we should be assuming.
I think that there will be a lot of pushback if we ask them to do S&I. I know that for all the procurement.
But we don't care. We really don't care. At the end of the day, they're selling. It has to be what they want to sell to the customers and offer. If they do S&I for everyone else, but they only want to do S&S for us, then that's a different situation. So the real question is, what are they going to offer the market? Good luck with that. Okay. Yeah, so I think getting ahead of the curve, and as I talked to Kuhn, we want to make sure that we avoid the situation. We had our construction guys go out there. They did a preliminary assessment. They said, yeah, it all looks fine. It doesn't look any worse than things that we've done in the Central Highlands. We can handle this, but now we're getting to an actual point where we're not going to do the BOP work, but we need a constructible project. So we need to make absolutely certain that what we're going to be taking to the market as a product in soon, as a project soon, is constructible. The other thought regarding our overall sale process in Vietnam, we've been looking for a partner that could help share the risk with us on projects, with the understanding that we didn't know when PDP-8 was going to come. We didn't know what the terms are going to be. We're now moving into an entirely different circumstance where we're potentially going to have projects that are in PDP-8 that can be brought to market very quickly. In a Vietnam context, you don't have to do a lot of additional work to actually get a PPA and have a very real project. And the value of those projects is very different than where we were before with something that maybe we get in PDP-8 one day. So I think everyone that we're talking to regarding potential partnering has been sitting on the sidelines saying, well, let me see what comes out of the PDP-8 process, PPAs, tariffs. That's fine, they've waited. We're going to have a different criteria on who we select going forward for a more mature project, I think. And I think we can expect a much higher valuation than where we were before. So I think we don't have to rush to select a partner out of our sale process right now. We'll probably end up running a little bit different process when we get confirmation that we're in PDP-8 and we know what the path is for a PPA. So just a thought on that in the market. I would think it's not going to be this way again, but the common benchmark during the last feed-in tariff feeding frenzy was that every local developer wanted $250,000 per megawatt for their project. They've multiplied that through by our two most mature projects, 200 plus megawatts, you get a big number. All of that was predicated on a much higher feed-in tariff though, and we're not going to have that much higher feed-in tariff. So it's not going to be that, but people were very much willing to pay quite the high valuations in Vietnam. So we'll want to get the maximum we can this time around as well. I think C has some news from Son La, maybe also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So C just came back from Sơn La. You want to give update, C?
Just update something that I meet some guy in the DOIT. They are very support us about quickly speed up the side of from the province member. So hopefully got new from them. Yeah, I think not sure next week or next 2 weeks, but they are pushing the provincial leader. Yeah, for the Sơn La. And some guy and our consultant here on CTC, our consultant, they in the Sơn La also to support the DOIT. And anything if the DOIT want to support, consultant will support in the province to explain anything in our proposal. Yeah.
That's great. It'll be great to get the survey rights, study rights for those new areas. And then we'll have some more mass to recommend and install and some new secure pipeline to add this year.
Yeah.
That's great. And Kuhn, maybe nearshore update on where you are with KEPCO, IPACO, Renico, whoever they are now.
All right, so they identified 2 blocks that is being considered for PDP-8, similar to our projects, and they are working with the province. And when they have the clear signal, then they intend to submit the application for that 2 blocks. And the plan is that they will share with us that application draft, and then we will also be in a joint venture with them in that application, and we sign up together to get the survey license. And apart from that, we Tom and Hein and I, we just discussed yesterday, and then we are preparing some sort of cooperation agreement with them, and to have something like tied with them until we get the survey license. So when we get the survey license, we are happy with that. Then we will talk about the JDA and how to move forward for funding from the survey license until the rest of the.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Frank, the cooperation agreement will be very similar to what we've been doing in Australia with some of the, the green steel and those guys, like those kind of early stage. You'll be seeing an email coming through after this meeting, sort of giving you an overview of what Kung and Han discussed as well, and just looking for the thumbs up, and then we'll get going.
Fantastic. I think again, there's a window here that has opened up, and projects are being named, names are being put to projects. So it's really great that we can respond quickly. Again, it's because of the foundation we have with these guys that we're even getting the opportunity. It's not what we anticipated. It's different blocks, but I guess the other thing, Jorge and Young-Yo, we're really looking forward to seeing what you guys say about the blocks. I'm assuming, there'll be decent wind, decent megawatts, but that we'll need that also. I don't think we'll need formal approval to submit this. I'll check next week with Thomas Arndt when he's back online and just make sure. But it'll be good to show what we're actually looking at in terms of these blocks, and then how we're going to go about it. What do you think, Jorge? 9 meters per second?
I'm optimistic, maybe not so optimistic.
Just checking.
We're conducting a bit of a review after this call, and we should be able to get you some information on some of the blocks. I'm optimistic.
Thanks everyone for the quick turnaround.
You are in the Mekong Delta, not in Ninh Thuận or Bình Thuận, so don't be so optimistic.
I wanted to manage expectations. Thanks.
Cool. So these nearshore projects are in Travain. What projects did we do in Travain? We didn't do anything with Capco. I put people there before, right?
What do you mean? I think
what nearshore projects has Vestas done in Travain? Previous.
So we have 2 operational projects in Travain.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And who were they with? Who were they with? Who were the local developers that we
was so that the one of it is the international, actually the CIO, CIO CFM, the Netherlands funding.
Right.
And the other one is Recoop, the local guy.
Okay. Are they both happy with our
very
projects?
Happy. Among the best net CF in the country.
Okay, fantastic. And I guess that helps the Capco folks pitch us as a partner, given our knowledge there.
Yeah, I think driving, they know very well our capability. So for that 2 projects, we do EPC. We act as the EPC contractor for both projects, and it's running very well. So.
Okay, fantastic. You might mention to Stephen when next time you're around him that we are looking at these blocks as well, just so he's aware. These 2 new ones. Okay, right. Anything else in Vietnam?
No, looking for another province. I thought let's see if we can find anything else left in the country.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Korea next. We had a great long